Hello everybody, welcome once again. Here is Rajesh YouTube channel, and now today I will teach you the biology in biology the class 9th diversity in living organisms. We will study diversity in living organisms, and we will try to understand what is the diversity in the bios, what is the difference between diversity and biodiversity, and biodiversity and its meanings and make sense. And after the classifications, how we will study about biodiversity one by one. So we will discuss on here with the help of blackboard chart testers, and you will just also understand it, what is the meaning of the biodiversity. So first of all, we will write here biodiversity and discuss one by one, sir, with the help of the some systematic example. Okay, diversity in living organisms chapter is chapter here is diversity in living organism. Diversity in living organisms. We have written here diversity in living organisms. How we will discuss on the earth. As we know that on the earth there are existence of large number of the number of the biodiversity that's available here, as exist a large density of the living organisms in place to place varies from the massive whale of the whale of 100 meters long to the microscopic bacteria, massive whales and microscopic bacteria we will see here. And also we can say that from the transparent or colorless worms to the colorful birds, and also we can say there's colorful birds and the flowers here we will see there. So the bacteria and the colorful birds, from the mosquito that lives few days lives to the redwood trees that exist near about some 1000 years, and 1000 years. Thus it can be said that that the living forms vary commodities vary and enormously. These contributions of the living organisms on the earth vary place to place. So biodiversity here is the bio means livings and diversity means variations. Living things that vary from place to place exist. It affects their environments and also affects their climatic conditions and place, soil, waters, and its populations and density, that is biotic and abiotic factors and living organisms that affect each other, also related to the biodiversity. So we will try to understand some terms of the biodiversity so that we can understand it one by one. So biodiversity is a such types of the vast humans terms. Biodiversity means coined by the Walter G. Rosens in 1986. And first of all, it exactly means that the diversity of livings are found in a particular regions. Diverse lives forms share from the same environments, and also it is different from each others. They are affected by each others and also affected by the non-living organisms also that vary from place to place. The characteristic features and their differences, on the basis of differences, if we want to study in a systematic way these huge vast biodiversity, we can say that the biodiversity is a such types of the such a major and a huge massive environment in which the living organisms exist. As we know that the diversity region of diversity, that is said to be the mega diversity. If we describe here on the base mega diversity, we will say that there are the some warm and humid tropical region on the earth between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricornus, we will see that the Capricornus, there are rich diversity of living and plant and animal is existed. So we can say that these area are known as as a huge amount of the huge number of the plant and animal. That is why we can say that this is the mega diversity regions. In this region here about one and half of the whole earth, half of the whole planets are plant and animals are existed in this area, that is the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So we can see that Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is a such types of area where the mega diversity, this is it, that is why it is said with the mega diversity. And these mega diversity near about half of the planets living organisms are existed. So we can say that these areas is defined as a mega diversity, means those area where the large means massive number of the plant and animal existed. That is indicated that mega diversity, the word 12 mega diversity countries are existed here, in which the Brazil, in which we can say it's a Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and also Mexico, Zaire, Madagascar, Australia, China, India, Indonesia, and Malaya is the such types of the 12 country which is existed in these Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn regions. That is indicated in the terms and also awarded by the name of the mega diversity. So we can say that here are the half of the planet's biodiversity is concerned. This enormous diversity of plant and animal is also found in other part of the world. We need to classify them and group them felt from time to time, so that we can study it well and understand its diversified forms, so that we can understood its futures and also what happens in the present and past, their comparisons, and then analyze, synthesize, and try to find the result of what will affect in a future generations, and what is the what is the major impact of this biodiversity that happening day in day out in our environment. So one by one, so we will discuss here with the help of some, so we will try to describe some terminology associated with the diversity. Here is the diversity. First of all, we will try to say that diversity means variations. Okay, and diversity means variations, and bio, as we know that bio means lives in variations is dependent. That is why it's said to be the biodiversity. It is named as biodiversity. This is the biodiversity. And after that, say it's a terms biodiversity was coined diversity was coined by Roger terms of biodiversity that was given by the scientist Walter G. Roger in 19 and Walter G. Rogers in 1986. Okay, 1986. And if we start talking about, say, here is the from 100 meters blue whale to the 100-meter blue whale to the so we can compare it's the tiny microscopic bacteria, and we can say that here is the microscopic bacteria, and from the living as a person mosquitoes that exist and life is found few days to the few days, and redwood have lifespan thousands years can this existed lifespans of the redwoods. We can say it's as it is. So we can say that the lifespans of the redwood is very high, and that is why biodiversity is existed. Tropic of Cancer Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Capricorn is such a center where mega number of plants and animal are existed. That is why it is said to be a mega diversity. This is there are 12 mega diversity available in whole world, and and one half part of the planets are here in planets are diversity or biodiversity as a form of plant and animal are existed here. These are, as in the world, are there are 12 mega diversity regions are indicated, in which we will see here some Brazil, and we can see here Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Mexico, Zaire, Australia, and Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and here is the Indonesia, India, and Malaysia, Indonesia, India, and China is such a countries which belong to the 12 mega diversity regions. So here we have to study about the mega diversity and diversity. We have clearly know that terms given by diversity, and we have clearly known that what is the meaning of the diversity. So thank you very much for coming on channel. Once again, I am still telling you that if you don't subscribe my channel, you can miss the very important lectures for you, so that can be a very useful for your any examinations point of view. So understanding it on the concern. So don't forget to share and subscribe my channels, and so that you cannot miss the videos.